Welcome back to News Geelong. We have read Port Adelaide's complaints, Twitter comments and other media reports regarding the possibility of Port Adelaide player Travis Boak returning to play AFL football with the Geelong Cats. News Geelong now presents the exclusive facts straight from the Geelong Football Club senior coach Chris Scott.
As an industry, we've got to be a little bit more mature than we have been in the past when it comes to the movement of players. We're really respectful of Travis's position and Port Adelaide's position. I mean, Travis is considering coming home to be closer to his family, and it's important that he understands that there's a spot for him here at Geelong if he chooses to come home. We've been really open with Port Adelaide. They know full well that we're speaking to him. Neil Baum's spoken to Peter Road, and as Peter Road said on the weekend, it was no surprise to Port Adelaide that we were going to be speaking to Travis.
Was it too much like taking star players and yourself over to do it?
Well, I mean, we didn't advertise the fact that we were talking to him, but it's no secret either.
So their reaction sort of talking about dragging a brass band over there and sort of anything else over the top?
Oh, I think they've got to talk to their members. We understand their situation. They've got to tell their members that they're fighting hard to keep a very good player.
What did you get out of the talks with Travis?
Oh, we gave him the facts as we see them, and I think he's really clear now where he sits. Port Adelaide are pushing him to make a decision, and we respect that. So it was important that he knew where we're coming from. Now he's informed, and we would expect that he'd make a decision pretty soon.
What did you feel the need to sort of do it yourself and have some of the players as opposed to just you?
I'm not at liberty to talk you through why we do things. It's important that we are transparent to an extent. We're talking to Travis, but I guess the key thing is that he's being pushed to make a decision quickly. So from our perspective, it's important that he understands all the facts. And if he does, I mean, we are flattered that he's considering Geelong. But if he chooses Geelong, he's got to make sure that he's been presented with all the facts and he makes an informed decision. So that involves me, it involves our administrators, and it involves our senior players who are key parts of the way we do things.
Does it sort of suggest that, I mean, he's talked a lot about family reasons and so on, but it's a lot to do with what part that he would be playing in the football team as well?
Oh, well, he needs to understand all the facts. I mean, he's considering coming home to be closer to his family, but he also needs to do what's best for him as a footballer. And it would be derelict of us to bring him across without him being aware of what he's getting himself into.
And did you get any sort of feeling from him that you were close to sort of...
No, I'm certainly not going to discuss how I think he's feeling or how we think the discussions went. We presented him with the facts. We were very open, and what will be, will be.
Paul Stewart became the latest player to re-sign with Port Adelaide today, and he thinks that Travis is going to stay. It was Eva yesterday saying that he thinks Travis is going to stay. Do you think he's going to stay or not?
I admire those guys in a way that they're prepared to talk publicly about what they think someone else is going to do, but I'm not prepared to.
Do you think that AFL Rule 4.7 has been thrown up a lot today in terms of you can talk to a player but you can't reach an understanding? Do you feel like that's a bit of... A lot of people now are saying that's ambiguous, because why would you go if you're not trying to reach an understanding? Do you feel like that rule?
No, we went to present Travis with all the facts so he can make an informed decision. It would be a slightly different situation if Travis and Port Adelaide said, look, we're not going to talk about it until the end of the year. Then we would respect that and wait till the end of the year as well. But he's being pushed to make a decision. So he needs to understand all the options available to him. We've been really open and transparent, as we always are, because we always follow the rules. And that's what we've done in this case.
So you didn't make a sales pitch, just state the facts?
State the facts. If you decide to come home to be closer to your family, this is how you'll fit into the Geelong system.
There was no persuading or a sales pitch?
I don't feel like we need to convince him. Once he knows all the facts, then he'll make an informed decision.
What about the culture? I mean, it's always been sort of the code that you don't want players saying they're going to another club when they're with an existing club. You think it's time for that to sort of change?
I think we need to take a more mature approach to the whole situation. The players were desperate to implement some form of free agency. Now, this is not a free agency issue, but it's along the same lines. The players wanted it. They were desperate for it. So we've made a conscious decision as a club to be more mature about our approach to it. Now, if we didn't present Travis with all the facts, he's not making an informed decision. If players want to talk, if other clubs want to talk to our players, they'll do it. And we accept that that's the new landscape of AFL footy.
So given the latest situation, do you feel like there's any ill feelings between Port Adelaide and Geelong?
Not from our perspective. I mean, as I said, Neil Baum rang Peter Rode and said, we're talking to Travis Boak. We thought it was only fair that you know that. Port haven't been blindsided at all. Maybe some of Port's supporters have been, but it's important that they understand all the facts as well. It wasn't a clandestine mission. We certainly didn't advertise it. We'd prefer that no one knew about it. We didn't want to publicise the fact. But it's no secret either. Port knew, Travis knew, Port knew that Travis was a willing participant in the discussions. If the supporters have been caught offside, then I feel for them a little bit. But this is going to happen more and more.
And just given that he's not a free agent, are you confident you've got the draft picks or what have you up your sleeve to actually get him if you just did decide to?
Well, it's an important distinction, and we're certainly not making a pitch to steal Travis. We're presenting with Travis a case for Travis to come home to be closer to his family and play with what we think is a pretty good footy club. But we're not trying to steal him for nothing. If Travis decides to come, then we'll deal in good faith with Port Adelaide and present them with a deal that both clubs think is fair. But we're a long way from that position. The situation at the moment is Travis has got a very difficult situation to make, a very difficult decision to make.
Does the shoot of Travis suggest that with free agency as well, that you're going to be quite aggressive in that free agency market?
Oh, everyone is. I mean, everyone knew with a lot of notice what the situation was going to be, and every single club is prepared for free agency and the freer movement of players. Every single club in the competition at the moment is talking to players from other clubs. I mean, this is not an isolated example at all. In fact, this one's a little bit different in that we have a player who's from Torquay who's openly told the whole world that he's thinking about moving home to be closer to his family.
Thank you very much, Chris, and we hope that clears the matter up for all the experts. As we go to a break on News Geelong, we'll return with sport and weather after this.